Hi everyone, I hope you're doing great. We're here on Altcoin Bible Wednesday. I'm going to hit you with three charts that I really like the look of. One, not so much, but it's not the end of the world. Really, we've had a ton of volatility overnight. You're probably very aware of that. I was pretty vocal with the masterminds and a few of the graduates as well that we just saw that this is an opportunity before FOMC and some big data coming out where we generally have a sell-off 48 hours into that. And then we have a bottoming effect after it. Not saying it's going to play out exactly the same, but there is a rhythm to this. And it also doesn't make a ton of sense to be overwhelmingly bearish here. I think the real overriding issue we're seeing right now with the sentiment in the market, it feels almost as bad as the bottom of the bear market. That's how ridiculous it is. Bitcoin's at $67,000, a hair's breadth away from a new all-time high. And the sentiment I'm seeing is just rock bottom, and that tells me that most people are over diversified into altcoins. That is absolutely fine. You're looking to outperform the big movers of the market, but if you do that, you step outside the risk curve and you don't invest in the Bitcoin and Ethereums of the world, well, that's why they're low risk. They have the lessened volatility, but it's safer in terms of that security around those assets and how they move. So I just want everyone to just recognize that if you are going heavy risk as an investor, you think yourself high risk, high reward, yes, but that means something as well. At the end of the day, you have to have an emotional lock on yourself and make sure that you have a very solid strategic plan, high conviction in the assets you're in, so you can close the laptop and not really worry about the shorter term volatility. Have that outlook of that 6 to 12 months. We can talk about in the end on how maybe you can look to improve that as graduates. We've got a bit of an offer going at the moment, but let's crack into the charts. I want to show you this. So Ethereum here is my cherry ripe, and I like to do this sometimes just when there's a bit of volatility, there's a bit of risk about. I just want to settle everyone back down into those core assets, Bitcoin and Ethereum. When they're looking okay on the charts, I'm going to bring it to everyone's attention because that low risk is really, really important. Plus, we have that catalyst of Ethereum moving towards its ETF, likely at the back end of this month. I would be surprised if it's, according to Nate Geraci from the ETF Institute, he reckons by the end of this month it's all good to go. It's just when it lands. So it's not certain, but it's a fairly good estimation. So buying Ethereum on a 50% pullback is absolutely what you want to see in terms of that longer term investment thesis. You've also got Ethereum at a nice confluence of support levels here. You got the 0.5 Fibonacci level. You also got the 100-day moving average and the 50 just below it. That is a really nice cushion. Nice buffer there for Ethereum. It's come down quite significantly on the RSI too. It's about 60-70% down. It's probably not likely when you're all the way down unless Bitcoin starts to crack 60,000 going that way. We could get that, but right now things look okay to settle down really. And we ran into that big sell block above, as you can see, and with a lot of leverage there and no ETF firing sooner in the month, we didn't have that next up thrust, and that's okay. There's value down here, but this is exactly what you want to see, more sideways action before an eventual punch through. There's a lot of whales sitting just above trying to short this market big time, but when they start to get cracked through this, we're going to expand very, very quickly. So don't mind ETH here. If we go down to the 4 hour as well, really constructive stuff, trying to get back above that 200 on the 4 hour. If you can close above there, it gets above that 10, then we're starting to look good, but it's going to be staircase up and then of course elevated down. But we're just looking for a trend reversal, nice and oversold there on the 4 hour. There you can see that red into that area. So yeah, I like the look here. It is my cherry ripe based on the catalyst, based on what I've just told you about risk. So yeah, we're going to move forward on that one. Now Pepe could easily be my cherry ripe, but it is my one to watch because it's a bit more risk, but memes have been performing and outperforming the market for a while. And I want to watch those that are holding up really well against Ethereum and also Bitcoin, and that's Pepe. Fits the bill. Now, what got me really excited about Pepe here is it's had fairly significant drawdown like a lot of these cryptos, but it's how they respond. It's what the relative strength shows us when the top two are really showing some volatility. And we're seeing here that the price is making those lower lows on Pepe, but what's happening on the RSI? It's making those higher lows, low, higher low. So it's moving high. So that's a clear divergence in price and momentum. That's what you want to see. So it's a 4 hour strong bullish divergence. I'm personally in this trade myself, and I really like the look of this. As long as it can hold that 200 moving average, if it falls beneath this, then yeah, I think it's probably in line with the rest of the market. But there's a real bid for Pepe, and there has been for a while. So what's changed? I don't see anything. So if it can crack this lid, this very clear range high lid, gets above that, retests support, Pepe's off, and I don't think, well, I think she'll probably replicate exactly what she did over here. I'll just zoom out just a smidge. But I'm going to go to the 8 hour just to show you the last time it kind of did this. Had this sideways action, diagonal, broke down, and then sideways, strong bullish divergence on the chart back in April, and then it expanded. It's doing the exact same thing again. So higher lows in momentum while prices descending down. So I expect price to potentially climb back up sideways, do that, and then break out again. So that is my one to watch, and it is Pepe. My danger zone, I wanted to cover Sol because it's in a lot of portfolios, and I like to do that. I said, plucking obscure ones left and right. I want to stick to what you guys are kind of in and what you're interested in. So we're looking at the Solana here. I think these prices are actually really good for longer term investing. I mean, this is a great area to DCA. However, what I've noticed here is a potential danger zone. Is Solana has, especially on the USD charts, essentially just been in an aggressive uptrend since all the way back since $21. It's been a phenomenal ride. You can see here just bouncing off this trend line all the way up. Did crack through it here, but bounced all the way back in and used it as a support and then bounced higher again. This here is a little bit of a worry. It's solidly closed beneath the downward trend line into support and volume mode. So this should hold. You can see there's a broader range within here. So if this were to succumb to maybe a rally here back into support now to resistance, I could see Solana quite easily coming down to the 200 and range lows before it does start to move out of here. And then you can take it from there. But just on a short-term basis, this is a perfect setup after a breakdown of a trend to see a run back into resistance and people getting FOMO things like a V-shaped reversal, but it will run into resistance above and maybe come down a bit lower. I just don't think it's Solana's time. I think Ethereum is going to take the limelight for a while. All right, guys. So if you, like I discussed at the beginning, if you're unsure what's going on, if you're an altcoin heavy investor, even if you're not, we have an offer running right now where you can speak to me, yours truly, about anything you want. They're 45-minute sessions. So as long as you are a graduate client, we have 5 spots. Well, actually it's 3 now because we had 2 bookings the other day. So 3 left. Contact us on the email here and contact the team. We'll book you in for a time slot and we'll give you the booking link. But generally, I love these sessions because it allows me to talk to you guys, and I kind of run you through a bit of a mini session that I run through our mastermind clients, which are on a much longer scale. So we go over about 5 or 6 sessions of feedback, so Zoom feedbacks and one-on-one calls with Tristan, Steve, and myself to really make sure your foundations are set. I run you through a bit of a mini version of that in 45 minutes. It is a little difficult to do it all, so I do like to focus on the feedback or the survey sheet that you do fill out before the session, and we can really nail in what you want to know a little bit more about, and then we can just have a chat generally about the market and where we see things. If that is of interest to you, make sure to book in with me and we'll have a chat. So thanks guys, appreciate your time, and we'll catch you again next time. Also should mention, if you're not a newsletter subscriber, I do a much larger in-depth version of this session, and today I've actually covered for those subscribers 3 layer 2s on top of the 3 cryptos that I've just covered now. So my top 3 layer 2s, I think because Ethereum is moving towards its ETF, I've got to start looking at those layer 2s, and I'm seeing 3 that have essentially retraced the death pump, sitting on 0.786 support, and I really like the look of them. So if you want more insight around that, make sure to become a newsletter subscriber. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Catch you again next time.